It's official. For the first time since 2014, Texas is bowl-bound.
Tonight, Texas showed right out here on their home court that they can compete with a team like UConn all the way down to the wire. But what is more left to be achieved by this Texas team remains to be seen.
He gave him a shot to wear this, a Texas swim cap.
Nick, what was the biggest change in momentum that gave you the opportunity to be able to get a score on the board?
Look at that catch right there. It is secured by the tight end's booty. Wow, and a somersault. I give that play a 10 out of 10.
And I have one right here, and the guys have told me all week that they are wearing the most comfortable helmets that they've ever worn.
Today's dual meet against TCU showcased a stellar senior class with the lights of Brett Ringgold and Johnny Roberts. But this win is just one stop along the way to NCAAs.
You think teams learn by now, don't give Tom Brady time in the fourth quarter or this will happen. Brady throws a strike to Brandon Cooks for the game-winning touchdown. Pats take this one from the Texans. Incredible catch by Hooks and a smooth execution by Brady.
The weather doesn't really matter to these guys because they're out here ready to grind and to perform. Speaking of Johnny Manziel, you've worked with him and the other quarterbacks all week. How have they impressed you? Johnny, it was a tough class, but you showed some really great moments. How does it feel to be taking snaps again?
Trailing by 10 in the second half, the Horns' electric comeback in the last 5 minutes didn't just secure rivalry bragging rights, but also a program-defining moment.
UT Disability Services teamed up with the School of Kinesiology to organize weekly wheelchair tennis clinics for not only fellow Longhorns, but members of the Austin community. Discover how one sport can make all the difference. Kirsten Seagraves hasn't walked in over 5 years.
Car accident, I crushed my spine, stayed in the hospital for like 3 months, did some rehab.
The almost life-ending injury led her to the sport she loves, wheelchair tennis.
Tennis was the first thing that I was good at because I was in a chair. I felt like the chair made me feel like I wasn't able to do a lot of things or I wasn't good at things, and this is the first thing I felt like I was good at because of being in a chair.
UT Disability Services teamed up with the club tennis program to put on weekly clinics, inviting anyone and everyone who wants to play.
UT is a special place in how inclusive we are, and it's really special what's happening out here on the courts. And
Athletes like Kirsten say adapted sports like wheelchair tennis are more like able-bodied sports than different. The purpose? Get a little sweat in and have a lot of fun.
Everybody loves recreation. That's one of the most important things in people's life. And when you get hurt, you're looking for an outlet, something to take your mind away from whatever you may have lost or can't do anymore. So you focus on the things that you can do.
And without wheelchair tennis, the can-do attitude wouldn't be possible for Kirsten.
Community involvement in doing sports and activities has made everything easier in general, just socialization, but also helping with the injury and accepting myself and feeling like other people accept me, and just having these opportunities makes the world of difference for sure.
1, 2, 3, go!
And the joint effort between UT Disability Services and the School of Kinesiology doesn't stop at wheelchair tennis. There are other sporting events coming up, such as power soccer and basketball. If you want more information, please contact the Office of Services for Disabilities Students.
I can't remember a day without swimming. That's one of my earliest memories, is getting in the pool, learning to swim.
Colquette's dedication led him to a swimming scholarship at SMU, and in 2015, entering his junior season, Colquette posted his fastest times yet, on track for Olympic trials the following summer.
It felt almost too good to be true. You look around, everything's working perfectly, it's going to be on track.
5 months later, Colquette started feeling pain in his right shoulder, and then he received devastating news.
And it was very, very confusing because the doctors would keep looking into it and they thought it was muscular. That was actually from the tumor in my neck pushing against the nerve.
The doctors removed the tumor, and Colquette's prognosis was good. What could have been a tragedy turned into a blessing.
When people ask me about it, I honestly say that cancer was probably one of the best things that has ever happened to me because it gave me this new outlook on life. Life's too short to not give everything you've got.
Colquette decided to take a chance. He asked Texas head coach Eddie Reese to consider him as a walk-on to the reigning national championship squad. And Reese, he gave him a shot to wear this, a Texas swim cap.
I wanted to be known not as a kid who recovered from cancer. I wanted to be known as another Texas swimmer who came for this program. That I could be a part of this legacy and that I could leave a mark.
Although Colquette did not make NCAA cuts this year, no setback will stop him from going for his dreams.
Katerina Biancardi, Texas News Watch. In front of a record-setting crowd, Texas gave a show. Holding the Yukon Huskies to the smallest margin of victory of their season so far, Texas head coach Karen Aston says the game came down to one thing.
And then free throws ultimately bit us.
While shooting less than 60% from the free throw line is unlike the Horns, Aston focuses on more than just the X's and O's.
And so it's not as much about did we win tonight or did we not win. We measured ourselves tonight against a really great opponent.
Tonight, Texas showed right out here on their home court that they can compete with a team like UConn all the way down to the wire. But what is more left to be achieved by this Texas team remains to be seen.
Now, going into practice every day, we can kind of use this as a example, and then when we're in those moments where we don't feel like, if people don't feel like practicing or we don't feel like going hard or something like that, we can use that and say, hey, look, I mean, are we going to be who we are, or are we going to kind of take a step back?
And who the Horns are even impresses UConn head coach Gino Auriemma.
It's a different Texas team that played us today. You know, they were in charge of the game for long stretches.
And who knows, Texas might just get revenge against the Huskies in a postseason rematch. But as for now, the Horns used the loss as motivation during conference play. Katerina Biancardi, College Press Box.
Roughly 250 football players will sign contracts and put on new jerseys in the fall. But first, they must be drafted. Welcome back to College Press Box's Unhooked. I'm Katerina Biancardi, and tonight I welcome in two special guests from the Texas O-line, Buck Major, Patrick Vahe. Guys, how are you doing tonight? Moving things to the tennis court, Texas men's tennis concluded their fall campaign with a bang. Juniors Rodrigo Banzer and Leonardo Teles took runner-up honors in the doubles final on Sunday at the inaugural ITA National Fall Championships. The Texas duo fell in straight sets to Wake Forest, and while the 8-seeded Horns held serve in the match's first game, the Demon Deacons took the next 5 games for a 5-1 first set lead. As for now, the Horns will spend the rest of their fall preparing for the regular season in January. Now, folks, we're going to move on to our top 5 plays of the weekend. Starting at number 5, we're going to hit, now a simple bunt should be an easy out. But when a third baseman's opportunity misses and is out of line, it turns into a home run for guys like Brian Dozier. Turns that bunt into a nice home run. Twins beat the Tigers 10-4. Now number 4 play, WNBA Finals, Game 1 here, folks. LA Sparks versus the Minnesota Lynx, 6 seconds left. Sparks point guard Chelsea Gray with the ball shoots and she scores. Let's take a look at that one more time. Off balance jump shot, clutch shot right there by them. Sparks defeat the Lynx 85-84. Now at number 3, we're going to be moving to the college football scene here. Oklahoma has the ball, and we have Abdul Adams season opening, and he's going to escape and take it to the house all the way for the touchdown. Adams runs right into the record books. Now, folks, this is the longest run in OU history for the sophomore. OU takes this one against Baylor in their Big 12 opener. Now, still on the college football train, Big 10 matchup, Rutgers versus Nebraska. Rutgers quarterback Kyle Bowen fires a pass into a tight window. Rutgers tight end Jerome Washington makes a catch of a lifetime. Now, it's first ruled incomplete, but we're going to have to take a look at it one more time, folks, because at a second look, it is an incredible catch. We're going to zoom in one more time right here. Look at that catch right there. It is secured by the tight end's booty. Wow, and a somersault. I give that play a 10 out of 10 right there. Excellent execution right there. And starting at number 1, we're on to the NFL. Houston leads New England. Now, you think teams learn by now, don't give Tom Brady time in the 4th quarter or this will happen. Brady throws a strike to Brandon Cooks for the game-winning touchdown. Pats take this one from the Texans. Incredible catch by Hooks and a smooth execution by Brady. And that is going to be a victory for the Pats. Nice work right there and huge, wonderful execution. And folks, unfortunately, that's all the time we have on Unhooked. Tossing things back to my buddy Luke Henry, where he'll preview what's going on around the 40 acres. Stay tuned.